No. Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh. And yes, we are looking at an article saying why Negan must die in the season or series finale of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You saw our intro.
Not should he die.
Why must he die?
There's the word. Why must he die? So, guys, we're going to go over this article. This article was done by Uprocks, and we're going to discuss this because it's very interesting. I want your guys' opinion on what this writer, why this writer feels he must die. So I do have to give a spoiler warning because this will talk about some comic book source material at the end of the series, which is spoilery. Yes, it's been out for a year or so, but any guys who are starting to read it, we want to give a spoiler warning for it.
Telling you off the bat, this guy's either a Glenn or Abraham fan.
Maybe. So, guys, all right, so in the article, he says, as the series embarks on its final story arc of the Commonwealth, and with the parent series finally ending after 11 seasons, there's only one thing left that the series must do in order to be considered a success. They have to kill Negan.
That is fucking stupid.
What?
That is stupid.
Okay, so before we figure out why this is maybe stupid or dumb, let's get into the article. So
Sure.
Basically, what he's trying to say is, there's been, despite vague rumors of a possible Negan spinoff, which we kind of already heard, Negan's death is the only way to make sense of his arc, which began the season 6 finale, the brutal deaths of Glenn and Abraham. So he mentions Glenn and Abraham. But,
there you go.
So basically, the only way... so he's essentially trying to be redeemed, so to speak, and except for Maggie, she's kind of the only one who doesn't want to redeem him. But he says there is one way, however, to achieve his redemption, and that is by substituting Negan into Rick Grimes' arc for the comics. So this is where we get into the spoiler stuff, guys. So if you guys don't know, Rick Grimes dies at the end of the series. He is shot by Sebastian, who was the son of Pamela Milton, the governor of the Commonwealth, and his death is basically what brings the end of the Commonwealth conflict, brings everyone together, and during the time skip, they live a very great life, and they have a statue of Rick Grimes.
But it's because of Rick Grimes.
It's because of Rick Grimes.
Let's be clear on that. It is the efforts of Rick Grimes, the ideology of Rick Grimes that rebuilt the world, which is why I just, for a number of reasons, didn't like the fact that Andrew Lincoln left. Well, they can't help that, right? But I didn't like CRM. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
Because, okay, if we're going to have someone that is rebuilding the world and it's not Rick, like that sucks.
Yeah.
But another thing is like, how are you going to throw Negan in that role?
Exactly, and stay tuned. We are going to be doing some videos on season 11. We have some. We kind of already did in the past talking about certain storylines of who might do that, but we didn't go into depth. But we will definitely go into depth of who may take these iconic storylines from the comics in the last season. So he goes on to say, this should also be the fate of Negan, who seems to the most natural person remaining to fill the vacuum left by the absence of Rick. Negan knows from his own experience with the Saviors that concentrating all power at the top is not an effective way to govern. It was Rick, moreover, who gave Negan a second chance by imprisoning him instead of killing him.
Do you think this guy's I'm not trying to degrade the writer here, but do you think he's a comic book reader? Like he's read the series?
I don't know. I don't know the writer at all.
I just look. If you've read the series, I don't see how you could have this stance if you've read the series.
Yeah, because he kind of says with the series coming to a close, it also makes sense for The Walking Dead to kill off one of its popular characters, and there are only 4 realistic possibilities: Daryl, Carol, Maggie, and Negan. Well, we know Daryl, Carol aren't going to happen. Maggie will definitely probably not happen.
Is Aaron not a popular character?
I mean,
is he not? popular enough.
Maybe that was one thing that we were talking about. We'll get into it later, but that was like we were kind of thinking who could take Rick's comic book death. Before maybe the Daryl Carroll spinoff, we were like, well, Daryl could be, but I don't think that they'll ever do that. Norman Reedus would never let that happen.
Yeah.
So, but they were kind of thinking like, well, who else could take Rick's role that can save the Commonwealth story arc? And I don't know who else it could be.
No,
but not Negan though.
Not Negan.
Negan's not one to step up and say, I want to change things. You know what I mean?
I was a little shocked that they didn't follow the comic book storyline from a perspective of Negan actually leaving. Like, I was pretty shocked that he came back.
Right.
I fully expected for him to leave. And maybe he still does. Maybe they still follow that storyline. But this doesn't fit at all.
Not really. Yeah. He concludes saying it would also be devastating for fans of The Walking Dead, but that's the point. More importantly, it would not only allow Negan to fully redeem himself, but Negan's death would also provide the story with some poetic justice. A senseless death would be fitting for a character responsible for so many senseless deaths as the leader of the Saviors. It has to happen for The Walking Dead to end on the right note. Negan can help make the future a better place while also finally facing the consequences of his past actions. It's a win-win for everyone.
No, it's not. It's really not.
No.
But I think that there are better ways for him to be redeemed than dying a senseless death. Like,
he already has been.
Tell me, what is the point? So we're gonna follow. Obviously, he's read the comics because he knows that Rick dies in the Commonwealth. He knows that storyline.
You can easily look that up on Wikipedia fandom. So,
but here's the problem. Rick tried to bring that community together. You see Negan doing that? No. Maybe now because he's starting to go through that redemption arc.
Right.
But do you think Maggie's going to let him walk and waltz into the Commonwealth? No.
I mean, we're going to see what's going to happen between the two of them. We know that, they're dealing with each other right now. Maggie hasn't said much. She hasn't really complained like, why is he here? She's just been silent, just giving him the evil stare.
Yeah.
But something is eventually going to come out, and will she I mean, we know that she'll never forgive him. It was kind of that way in the comics.
Saving Herschel in some capacity would probably heal the wound a little bit more.
Oh, for sure.
They can easily set up that storyline. Now it's predictable.
Yeah.
But
Negan has done a lot of good deeds that a lot of our characters don't know about. He saved Judith in that snowstorm. Not a lot of people know that.
Most do.
Most do, but not a ton.
And you got to think that they would have told the other community
that
it's just the hatred and disdain for him runs so deep that it's worse now with Maggie.
Yeah,
because I think that in Negan's episode there was this little quip that like Maggie being there really made people uncomfortable with Negan being around.
Oh, for sure. I think with Maggie not being there, people were fine with Negan. They were like, okay, he saved us with the Whisperers. I mean, well, they're probably, we don't really know what other people think because we don't get to hear their voices, but maybe they're just, okay, if our main leaders of our group are cool, he's here, he must be cool as long as he doesn't get out of line, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? He helped us with the Whisperers. He's kind of trying to help come back, redeem himself, so to speak. But with Maggie now here, people are like, oh, shit, like, is she just going to kill him? Or, like, what are they going to fight? What are they going to do?
It just kind of sucks that they didn't give more. I wish they would have given Negan more of that interaction with Rick.
Yeah,
that's what I miss the most.
And
like,
that's what,
they had one scene of Rick talking to them in the jail cell, which led up to Rick's final moment in the war.
Yeah,
they coincided that, but like I just wish that there was more interaction between those two characters, and then you really would have seen Negan's turnaround and redemption arc at that point.
For sure, yeah, because in All Out War in the show, they really didn't. They had Rick and Negan talking to each other, but it wasn't like it was in the comics. I mean, those two were actually locked in a room together while Alexandria was being attacked, and
they saved each other's lives.
And even it was in the Whisperer War that it happened.
It was in the Whisperer War.
It was in the Whisperer
War. They saved each other's lives.
Yeah, they saved each other's lives.
And Negan saved Rick's, I think, a couple of times. But then my favorite moment still to this day in the source material is when Negan turns around and gives his condolences for Rick losing Andrea.
Yeah, for sure.
That was one of, like, to me, that was a powerful moment.
That was huge, definitely. So, you know, I mean, we appreciate anyone who writes what they feel. You know,
Absolutely.
I just don't like the word that he must die. He must not die, and I don't think it would fit for him to take Rick's comic book death, because that death, iconic as it is, would have to go to somebody who has a similar type of personality that Rick does to save. Now, is Aaron going to step up? We don't know. Could Daryl be taking part of it, just not going to take the death we know of? We don't know. We don't know what this show is going to do. We'll have to find out.
They couldn't even. They may not even do the death.
They might even cut that part. They may have a battle. You know, like similar
like a Civil War,
similar to what they did in the comics, but it's not going to be like. I don't know what they're going to do. It's going to be crazy, because a lot of our main characters are not in the show that were part of this comic.
I'll tell you who would be a perfect fit to get that death, and that is King Ezekiel.
Ezekiel would be good.
That is the perfect fit, because he is the one to rally the troops. He is the one to talk up peace and to motivate people to walk that path.
Yeah.
And he's dying anyway.
He's dying anyway.
We don't know to the extent, but you know, I mean, that's a perfect fit.
I wouldn't want to have him be shot by some bratty kid.
No one wants that death. Look, that death was shitty.
Yeah, that death was shitty. If King Ezekiel goes out, he goes out saving everyone else in the name of living, basically, in the name of what Rick Grimes said. We've got to live, but not get shot by some little punk. Because that'll piss me off.
Not to mention the main character of the whole freaking thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So guys, let us know what you think. Our opinion, Negan must not die.
No.
And we don't feel that he would deserve taking that iconic death from Rick Grimes.
Good
in
article,
the comics. It's a great article.
Good article. It got us talking.
It gets us talking, gets us thinking in different ways. But yeah, we really appreciate and kind of doing things like this. So big shout out to the guy who did the article. You know, I think it's a good talking point. Yeah. You know, it's just, you know, we're just kind of saying he must. Like, it's a very strong statement when you put must.
Before we close, we are a little biased.
We are a little biased. Yeah.
We do love Negan.
We love Negan. We love the source material. But yeah, so let us know what you think, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Give the video a quick like, and stay tuned for more from us. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.